Hello friends, my name is Syed. So today I will be explaining you guys how to construct a house in India. First step is buy a piece of land which is either a square or rectangular in shape, and also get your land surveyed through a professional surveying company. These surveyors will determine the soil composition of the land, and also it helps in further construction. Check and confirm whether the actual measurements and the measurements on the paper are matching. Before I give you further information, I'll just tell you the brief dimensions of the plot which I'm constructing. So it's a 30 feet by 40 feet plot which is south facing, and I'm constructing a two bedroom, a living room, kitchen, and two bathroom, and a car portico, and also a pergola and a kind of semi open area. So first thing we did is we cleaned up the plot. Then we actually installed four rods on the four corners of the plot. And to make it square, what we did is we tied thin ropes, making it a square. This thing. So once we did this, we got to determine that it was not a square. Then we corrected it and we made it a square. Then what we did is we made a marking for column pits. Then we dug up the column pits, and as you can see in the video, we have dug up the column pits, and also you can see water present in the pits. So the thing which one should avoid is once you open the or dug up the column pits, you have to close it as soon as possible you can, because it will loosen the soil and your foundation will be weak. In total, we had 14 columns, whereas in those 14, 3 columns were centric columns, and the rest 11 columns were eccentric columns. Once the mesh structure was ready, we poured the concrete, and as you can see, the concrete has solidified and the foundation structure was ready. And we closed the pits with big stones. The reason is the pits were a bit large, so we did not want to fill the pits with mud, which would create a space and it wouldn't fill the or compact like how it was before. So what we did, we just filled the pits with big stones. Then we used stone and cement masonry, and we built paya or foundation basement, which is called paya in Hindi India. So that's how we done with this. So according to our plan, the living room and the two bedrooms and the kitchen were a 3 feet height from the datum, whereas the other area, which was pergola area, whereas which was semi-open, it was 2.5 feet above the datum, and the car park area was at 2 feet above the datum. So there were three different heights which we maintained. This land, this is a lake pit, so we had to make sure that the foundation was strong. So we had to build a 8 course foundation, and at the max it was 8 course, and at the minimum it was 4 course. Then you can see in the video further, after closing these pits and everything, we built the bed lintels, and we connected all the bed lintels with the pillars and to give a proper support and for the structure. Further in the video, you can clearly see how we have built the sump for the water storage, and it was 10,000 cubic meter sump which could hold a lot of water. Basically, I'm from Bangalore, India. So the thing is, this construction project is not being executed in Bangalore. It is near to Bangalore. There is a town called Chanpatta, and the main thing is the construction methods in this town are different, and also the working style of the this thing, the mason and other teammates is really different, and it was a challenging and daunting task. Sometimes we had to do up and down from Bangalore to Chanpanna, like for more than 1.5 months, just to make things right from the beginning. Because the people or the masons here are like not as professional or as efficient you may find in Bangalore. And there was a tree which was very close to our foundation, or you could say column, which was there, and we had to get it removed, and so that in future it shouldn't create any problem for the foundation. And it was a bit of difficult task, since it involved a tree and also like a lot of government bureaucracy. So the water sump was below the car park area. So what we did, we dug up the sump 10 feet in depth, and also 10 feet in length and 8 feet in width. The volume of water it can hold is 10,000 liter. Once we were done with digging for the sump, we had to construct a concrete wall, which was steel and concrete wall, which could hold the pressure around the water sump water tank. So what we did, we filled the bottom of the sump with stones. Then we used the concrete cement mix, that is plain PCC bed. We made a PCC bed, and then we just like you can see the PCC bed here, and we just use the compactor, manual compactor, to just compact the thing. And then after compacting, we had to use the steel and cement reinforcement. You can see the finished roof of the sump tank, which is made up of concrete and steel, and you can also see the extension of the pillars which is being done. You can clearly see how the bed lintel work, or the bearing lintel work, which is done here. You can see the pillar to pillar connection which is given, and also you can visibly see how the civil work of the same thing is done. It is advisable always to construct a sump water tank before starting the other civil works. Here we used water to compact and fill the soil and gravel which had we used till the plinth height, so that water actually goes into every pore and it actually compacts the soil really good. There is a high risk of formation of honeycomb structure in the columns and also in the beams if you don't take precautions. The precautions which we couldn't take, that is like we could have used vibrator, but we didn't use. They just used the bamboo stick and they just mixed it, compacted it well. But I would rather suggest use a vibrator. The mason which with whom we were working was actually really slow, and he was lethargic, so actually it took a lot of time just to bring the construction to this stage. This is the inside view of the house, and also typical brick masonry which you can see, and how it's been done. And also this part is before the chaja and lintel, beam lintel which was installed. So we had to just install the windows and door frames before that. So for the main door frame, we used the shisham wood, and for the rest other rooms and other parts we used neem wood. Here the scaffolding is being done for the beams, and also for the chaja and other this thing, before you actually further extend. And next step is you have to install the roof. So the concrete pouring process has started, and as you can see, it is actually mixed in a semi-automatic mixer, and then through the use of lift fork, they are using taking it and just pouring it onto the roof. So here you can see the concrete has solidified, and this video was taken the next day, or actually the same day as of pouring of concrete. So actually the concrete takes 3 to 4 hours to solidify. You can just touch and feel if it's hot, then it's solidifying. Once the roof was ready, they started extending the parapet walls, and also they had to build a kind of washing area, and kind of room where we could have we can actually place a water tank above it. This is plastering of living room roof which is being done, and they just mix cement with a bit more of water, and they just spray it on the roof. So this is the view of living room after installation of tiles, and this is the view of bathroom after installation of tiles. And one thing is we did is we used second hand tiles which we got off the market, and we saved a lot of money on the tiles and flooring. So this way you can also save money and effort on this thing. Since this restroom is small in area, what we did, we just put divided it into wet area and semi-wet area, and we did not install the wash basin. So the wash basin was outside the toilet. And this is the parking area. As you can see, we have used this pattern of tiles, but again these tiles were also purchased in second market, so we should save a bit more in this one too. So for stairs, what we used is Kadpa slab and also granite. The thing with granite is it the labor for granite was 25 rupees per square feet, and also the cost for granite was somewhere around 70, between 45 and 70 rupees per square feet. So we thought it was not affordable, but we still used granite on some area, which was the foyer area. You can clearly see here, and this view is of the living room and also the pergola which is in the starting in the foyer area. As you can see, the tile work and other kitchen work is done very neatly, and the craftsman which we got was he was from Calcutta, and his work was really good. We actually could not supervise due to lockdown, and still he did the work really well. This is the utility area, as you can see, and the left to utility is the bedroom number 2, and the next is the common toilet. From the utility we are walking to the master bedroom through the living room, and you can see the ventilation which is available in this house. And also what we did is we made sure that our doors and windows were 8 feet of height. Generally they make the doors and windows for 7 feet height from the ground, so we made sure it was 8 feet. And also it's a open kitchen, and the pergola and the other area you can see, it makes the house much more livable, and you can't think that it is somewhere in a small town or place, because we used some principles which we knew, and we constructed it according to it. For the sake of security and safety, and also for the threat of theft, what we did, we just included all the external area into our internal area, and we merged it. And also the gates and other things which we are using is it's like complete lock and key and strong fortification which we have used. Since this place is away from our main area, which city where we are living, because this is like a out guest house for us, and we don't live here, so most of the times it will be locked. So what we thought was to make sure that nobody can intrude into our property and just damage or do anything. So we just made sure we just include everything in the property, and just we use the pergola area. Just we kept it open. So this is a U-type kitchen, also with the breakfast counter embedded with the kitchen countertop. So you can clearly see it. So this is the main door, and you can clearly see this is the foyer area and also the pergola area. We have combined the foyer, instead of giving roof, we have just given the pergola, and it is much more ventilating, and also it is elegant and it gives a light feeling. So this is the external view of the house. You can clearly see the main door and also the ventilations vents which we have given, and also the car park area we have given a gate which is completely closed.